novelization for The Rise of Skywalker has been delayed by 2 weeks, and why may not surprise you.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
So typically we get a novelization shortly after the premiere of a Star Wars film. With Episode 9, it's been a little bit different, where they delayed the art of book and the novelization of it until March 3rd. Well, now they've pushed it back an extra 2 weeks, but why has there been such a huge delay for the release of the novelization of Episode 9? It's because that movie was a shit show. And if you're thinking, Rawr, you dizzy bitch, you're just being a hater, I'm not saying this from I think way too much was shoved into The Rise of Skywalker, and it just was kind of chaotic. I'm saying that because of evidence that Episode 9 was a shit show. The creation of it was a shit show. This film got heavily restructured. It got reshot. It got butchered. Things got added in. Things got taken out. Up until the last minute, they were making big decisions. They were even changing how the first act happens. And I'm not blaming JJ or coming at him for that. He had to close out a trilogy and the Skywalker saga. No wonder he was admitting, yeah, we just were freaking out how to do each act, and even the first act, it was really difficult. We understand, JJ. I feel like a lot of people probably don't envy the task you had, especially following The Last Jedi and the chaos that made. And if you have read interviews from even Chris, the co-writer, or the main lady that edited Episode 9, you know that there were a lot of last-minute changes, to the point where Chris said, hey, JJ doesn't want me discussing this when this decision was made, so I can't give you specifics. And the editor for Rise of Skywalker said, yeah, there were scenes that we shot or we went back and added in, and we didn't even know if we were going to have them in the movie. We just decided, I'm going to start editing, and then if I feel like we should put the scene in, I guess we'll put it in. And she talked about how they had to keep restructuring the film and moving things around, and lots of information was lost, such as we were going to get more backstory about Lando, his tragic backstory. We were going to get more on why Palpatine did the things he did, but they just started chopping and reorganizing. You may also remember I did a video where I talked about how originally the opening scene of Episode 9 was going to be that flashback to Luke and Leia post Return of the Jedi, and then they restructured that as well. The last minute switching, cutting, and adding is so bad that depending on whether you are reading the new expanded Star Wars edition, which came out in the fall, or if you're reading the visual dictionary for Episode 9, which came out the day of, or I believe the day after the premiere of Rise of Skywalker, or if you're looking at the description on products for the Rise of Skywalker, or you're talking to JJ, or you're talking to Chris, or you're talking to the editor, or you're talking to the author of the novelization, not all the information is the same. It contradicts each other. In fact, right now, an actor from the film and the lady that is doing the novelization for Episode 9 are kind of in a tiff with each other about whether he died or not. That's how much confusion there is. And you may notice that. You may have bought some merchandise for Episode 9 and noticed the details on the package about that character are incorrect with what was presented in the film. It's because there were so many last-minute changes and additions, and JJ just seemed like he was winging it to the very end. Again, no criticism for him. I feel like maybe they should have given him more time, but I'm not in control of Disney. And this is actually why you probably noticed there's the hashtag release the JJ cut for Episode 9, because there's so much information that was left out because the film already had way too much in it. So if you were wondering why the novelization isn't out yet, it's because the author is probably struggling to figure out exactly what is still canon from what she was told, because you have to realize a lot of these authors are given the plot details and then they write the story so it can then come out. right after the premiere, but with her, it had to be delayed because there were so many changes. Now, the extra 2-week delay is probably just a publishing thing, to be honest, but overall, why we're getting the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker so late is because the making of the film was just chaos. Now, that doesn't mean Episode 9 was a bad film. If you like the film, a shooting of a movie can be chaotic and messy, and you can still like the product. The journey doesn't necessarily make the destination in this case. So if you liked it, that's fine. If you disliked it, that's fine too. If you don't really care, that's also fine.
Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.